Before we start, I'd just like to ask you a few questions about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Not personal questions, but what you feel the public can know.
Okay, so we started WB Radio in 2017. Before that, I was on pirate radio stations, DJing, just doing my own thing, um, and then literally thought I wanted to start my own radio station. Okay. So I started my own radio station. Just researching what I wanted to do. It took me about 3 months to get the name because there's so many different radio station names out there. It was a bit hard to get a name for the station. And then
Name any personal connection at all, or
in regards to
just love the beat?
oh no, it's just I was just going through a few bits and pieces. I was trying to like Onyx Radio. There's a few Onyx radios already. Just messing about with the names, and then came up with Love the Beat Radio. I was like, you know what, it actually works because it's single syllable words. Whereas if you have like different syllable words, it's too much of a mouthful.
I was going to say,
to put through. So Love the Beat Radio came to mind. I thought, you know what, let me go with it. And then we started doing things for just the general radio station stuff, and then we had a kids corner where I started having a kids show where we're just playing kids music.
Yeah.
But I thought I wanted to elaborate on that and started kind of get people involved. So I thought, let me read to the kids. I was like, nah, you know what? I'm not sitting there for 2 hours reading, on the air. It's long and stuff. You know what? Let me get children to come in. Got my daughter involved. I woke her up. I was like, let's go out to the radio station. Some McDonald's in it for you.
Yeah.
Gone down, and then it started.
Yeah.
And then we started doing a lot more things for the community. Started doing projects and things like that. We're now doing traineeships, work experience.
That's exactly the stuff I want to talk to you about as well. And that's the kind of the reason why I also wanted to take away. Sorry to cut you.
No, that's fine.
But you're literally touching on the things that we really need to appreciate. And it's not just the history, but it's things that make history. It's that legacy, and it's the groundwork that you've laid. So, and it's also some of the points that I want to talk about, which really makes this quite a pivotal thing. So that's what I'm trying to take away from this being such a monthly thing to an understanding of what we have here, the groundwork, what makes things to actually tick and top.
Yeah.
So like, one of the things I wanted to say was, what brings you the most fulfillment from the radio station and why?
I think what brings me the most fulfillment is the fact of helping young people, obviously getting the message out there, entertaining people. Because we was working on a few things the other day in regards to what we actually are, what kind of station we are, and we worked out to be that we're South London's leading diverse radio station. Yeah, that's what we're known to be.
Diverse.
So that's what we're seen to be. We're not just your general radio station who plays music all the time and things like that. We do things for the community. People they confuse us in the sense of they think that we're a community radio station, but we're not. We're a normal commercial radio station which has a finger in the community basically, and supporting the community. And we just do a lot of things for kids. It motivates me, makes you want to do more kind of thing. Seeing the smile on the kids' faces when they're happy when they leave and everything like that, and they're like, oh, we want to do some more. We want to do work experience and things like that. That's what kind of keeps the drive for me.
That for me is also what makes this really important. Is the passion, because you not once mentioned money, you not once mentioned yourself. It's what you get out of it, and that's also the reason why what I do is the passion. It's very important to the growth of anything. Like there was someone said, if you're chasing the bag, you'll never understand what it was you're trying to grab.
Yeah, that's it.
So when you're chasing something for what's inside of you, the rest just comes naturally.
Yeah,
So it's like, it's really good to hear. So what does Black History mean to you?
Black History means to me is the fact of, it means a lot of things really. Seeing back to the time when the slave trade was on, stepping away from that, having an independence as, Black people being able to do our own thing, celebrating, the history of Black people, the culture, the things that we do, the things that we eat, how we do things, and just understanding, where our ancestors came from and, the struggles that they had and what they've been through and, just making sure that people are aware of all of these kind of things.
That's really important, and that's again, the radio, music. It's important that getting that out to people, it's leaving that legacy, even if you don't cross it across the board, across the waves. What you deliver is another way that I find very important, because it's almost subliminal the way you put your message out. For example, like your Kids Corner, the public speaking skills that you give, the reading skills that you give, the confidence that you promote, the fact that other kids are watching this and like, wow, I can go out there and they're the same age as me and they're reading. It's really important. Like I said, it's that subliminal way of actually getting to them if you can't get to them through the radio. Also, for them meeting new radio equipment, all of this is new to them, and it's the other way of opening their eyes. Because I find sometimes with the school, it almost gives them the tunnel vision, but this just broadens their horizon. So I find things like that very, very important. Which also leads me on to like your school workshops, like your team building, the confidence. And I'm just selecting a few out of the hundreds that you've got on there. It's like the team building, the confidence, the self-pride, like the behavior at home, like what brought you to want to do the school workshops?
I think I just wanted to kind of like expand on what we do in regards to things here. We do traineeships, we do work experience, but I wanted to kind of like show the young kids how about life, like gangs and things like that, how how to kind of be a better person in life rather than being involved in gangs, and kind of getting them to understand things about life in regards to money, being coerced into taking money from people from the streets who they don't really know, and kind of fall into that trap. A bit like the chicken box saga kind of thing. I just kind of get them to have a better understanding and to try and prevent them from kind of going down the wrong path. So a lot of it happens from primary school into secondary school. And a lot of that's missed. So it's a case of kind of getting them to understand the principles behind things, and what to look out for in life to make sure that they don't fall into that kind of trap.
And yes, again, I'm repeating myself, but that is the subliminal way of reaching them, and this is so important. Like the other thing that you've got is the STEM ambassadors. So coming from a teaching background, knowing that you're almost ahead of the schools with the STEM work, that's another thing I'd like to talk to you about, and what brought you to do the STEM work, or to find the ambassadors for that.
So basically, I had a meeting with the mayor of Bromley, and she said to me, how am I getting into schools and all that kind of stuff? And I said, look, I'm just approaching schools, just trying to pitching what I'm doing and what have you not. She said to me to look at becoming a STEM ambassador. Because if you become a STEM ambassador, you then have more of a chance to get into school, because you have to be DBS cleared and all that kind of stuff. And they do that kind of stuff for you. They check to make sure everything's all good. You then put up your workshop projects and what you do. The schools then look at it and say whether or not they want you to come to school and do the workshop. So it's a case of that's where the STEM ambassador came from, and it helps to kind of like boost the workshops for the schools.
That is really important that you do keep up with everything, which also no one could, because don't want to use it as an excuse, but we tend to find a lot of excuses why we don't want to do something. But when you can keep up with the times, no one can ever say that you're not delivering something that's needed, that's with what we actually do need these days, and it's the stuff that you don't really get in school, and it is that STEM stuff.
That's it.
The traineeship, the work experience, the one-to-one mentoring, the things that you look out for in your team. Like, how do you pick your team?
At the moment, the team's very small, and when I say small, it's just me. But obviously, once you start getting more workshops coming in and more things, going, then we'll start building a team. But we'll be looking for people who got life experience, people who have been through life in regards to being in gangs, reformed gang members, people who want to help and teach other people, and that. They're the kind of people that we'll be looking for.
Perfect. So there was an area that really caught my eye, and it's something that I'm really glad that you do. And I'm not really trying to stick it on the parents, because obviously we all have to work, But because we dedicate ourselves to work so much, there's some things that we don't really get to pay attention to see our kids do. And the things that you've highlighted, and yet again, this is just some of the things out of the 100 that I've picked. And it's things like when they're not attending school, arriving late, hanging around older people, looking messy, being caught by police, might seem talk different towards their parents, all of these little things that the parents may not pick up on, but the workshops that you deliver for that is not an eye-opener for the parents, but it's an eye-opener for the kids to know, you know, we do know what's going on, and we can help, you know, and it's also an opportunity for the teachers to understand as well, like,
signs of
right,
young people,
exactly, because some teachers may not have the cultural background or cultural understanding of the school that they're working in, and may approach a situation wrong. But with these things that you've highlighted, it's almost an additional workshop for teachers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
you know, and it's really cool. Like I said, the things that you do, it's really, really pivotal, and hence the reason why it's not just about the Black history, but the legacy that we leave, the things that you do. You can already see it happening, unfolding. You know, that thing of dropping a stone and watching the ripples.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure to have this conversation with you today and get my hands on you to actually get this done. Very hard guy to get hold of, as you heard. The people that he talks to, the places that he has to be, and the things that he does, it's very, very time consuming, and the output and the outcome, it says it for itself. So thank you once again for this. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,